Hello everyone. Welcome to another interview in Lions Den Sport. Today, I'm very pleased to be joined by a young boxer in the name of Zizo. Zizo is a Saudi boxer, right? A Saudi-born
Yeah,
boxer.
yeah,
You're born in New York.
yeah. I'm a
Traveling
citizen
all
of the
around the
world.
world. I don't think you're
Can't say
competing,
where I'm from, where I was born. I'm all over the place.
but you got big news coming up, right?
Yeah,
Very big
yeah.
news. You're making your debut on the undercard of Joshua v Usyk over in Saudi Arabia, man. How does that feel for you?
Crazy. It feels crazy. First, like, thank God, like I say, Alhamdulillah for everything, bro. Like, this is crazy stuff for me. It's surreal, I feel like I'm living not only my dream, but I'm living the dream of so many others back home and so many others now around the world. So I've been given an opportunity to showcase what I've been working on for years and years and years. And now it's what I make it's what I make out of it that matters. It's what I make out of it that really shows the people that I deserve this. So I can't wait for them to see what happens fight night.
What does it mean to you to be a Saudi boxer making your debut in Saudi Arabia? Now, Saudi Arabia is like rising in boxing, right? What does it mean for you to be part of that cult
Yeah, well,
or something?
Saudi Arabia is rising in boxing and rising in the world, really. Now we're seeing the touristic opportunities open up more in Saudi. We're seeing, the fastest growing economy in the world right now happening at an accelerated speed. And what I love about it is they're doing it through tourism. So Saudi is doing
Oh,
everything, yeah, through tourism, through, projects and real estate or events. For example, take away the boxing, you have WWE. If it's not WWE, it's Formula One.
yeah.
And it doesn't take them time to build, a venue or years and years for them to host Formula One. Once they decide on it, they really do it. So when it shows that mentality of once you put your head into something, I'm going to get it done. And I feel like this is where I get it from. So it's not that they are really building very hard to open up the country for everyone because it's a beautiful country. Everyone deserves to see it. So for me to be just a Saudi fighter representing Saudi and really just the Arab world as a whole is great for me. I feel like the way I look at it is I'm the first local trained Arab fighter to represent internationally, professionally, because you've gotten two or three Arab fighters before, but they were either born in the Arab world but raised and trained outside, abroad, which is not the same. For example, like my hats off and my idol is one of them is Prince Nassim, but it's different when you are trained around knowledge and IQ in England and around these coaches and around that exposure and equipment. And then it's different when you're trained in the Arab world where the equipment is really limited. The knowledge is based on the coach's experience as a fighter locally, not really the coach's experience internationally. So that stuff really does make a difference. I didn't hit a single speed bag or double end bag until I moved to the US 3 years ago. I didn't have a proper smooth ring in training until 3 years ago. I didn't even have a ring at all until 5 years into the sport. So
Wow.
the only good ring we had in the Arab world where I used to train, I was also raised between Egypt and Saudi Arabia.
Mm.
And when I used to fight in Egypt, the only smooth ring we had was during the tournaments, during nationals, during states. But during training, you have to manage, you have to sort it out. So it means a lot, because I feel like fight night and every other fight night after this one, I'm representing so much more than boxing. I'm representing so much more than one country. I'm representing a whole side of the world that's looking for that blueprint. But Saudi Arabia right now have discovered that they have a star of their own that has been working, in the shadows for so many years, so many, that I'm going into my 12th year of boxing right now.
Wow.
So I feel like this is the big break that I've been training for, praying for, being showing up day in, day out, the sacrifices, everything. So it's just an honor and a privilege for me,
How did they find out about you? How did they get, how did they know you? We got Zizu out there who's a boxer, who's been boxing for so long. How did you reach out to these balls? Did they reach out to you?
So when I first went to the US, before COVID shut the amateurs down,
Mm,
my hopes were to turn pro straight away, or like to train to turn pro straight away, because I knew this is where the history, this is where more history is to be written for the Arab world. So, especially for Saudi Arabia. So, when I first went, I fought a few amateur fights in the US, won them, and then COVID shut everything down in the amateurs.
mm.
And when COVID shut the amateurs down, not only in the US, but around the world, the Olympics postponed for a year.
Yep, to
And
2021. Yep.
yeah, and they postponed all their qualifiers. They reset all the qualifying, systems and everything. So then this is where I sat with my brother and my cousin, we talked on the phone and all. And I said, I want to reach out to Saudi right now. I want to represent them in the Olympics. I feel like no Saudi has ever represented boxing in the Olympics. I want to be the first. It's
Mm,
the firsts and it's the history that keep me going. So I wanted that. And this is such an important thing for, I feel, any athlete or any fighter to do, is to work on getting your message out there. Send the emails, send the DMs, send the messages. What are you going to lose if you don't get a reply back?
mm,
But you have so much to gain
mm,
once they reply back. So I kept searching and searching, emailing the boxing federation, emailing, this prince, that prince. I kept talking to everyone. I tried to use all my connections. One of my brothers even traveled from one city to another in Saudi Arabia, went to the federation himself, walked in, tried to talk to them. Then we found an Instagram account because we were sending my videos out. We found an Instagram account of who she is now. This is very important, by the way.
yeah, I
She
was
is
going to touch
now,
about this. Yeah,
yeah, she is now the vice president of the Saudi Federation. However, then she
boxing
wasn't.
federation, boxing
Yeah,
federation.
yeah. And her name is Rasha Al Khamis. And we found her Instagram account, and she loves boxing and she supports boxing, and like she's always empowering it in Saudi Arabia, especially for women too. So my cousin sent her one of my videos, and I sent her my video too. And out of everyone, she replied. She replied and she said, "Wow, you really want to represent Saudi in the Olympics? I want to help out. I'm gonna get you there." And then from there, everything went on. She talked to, important people in boxing and important people in Saudi Arabia.
Mm,
And she kept pressing the issue once, twice, three times, until everyone really came together and discovered that, wow, this could actually be a potential thing. So then we worked on training for the Olympics, regardless of the decision they were going to take, because it was looking like we were going. So talks started, and we started training for the Olympics, sparring, day in, day out, all that stuff. And then one day, 2 weeks away, 3 weeks away from the last chance world qualifiers in Paris for the Tokyo Olympics, they sent a message out, the Olympic Committee, and they said, due to COVID, we are going to have to cancel the last chance qualifiers, and the rest of the places will be reallocated based on points earned from 2017. I wasn't even competing at an elite level at
mm,
2017. I was 17 years old, you
mm.
know? So I didn't have any points. There goes my Olympic chances. And then we just go and turn pro. So right now, the team, after what happened with the Olympics, the team kept going. They kept supporting me. The government in Saudi Arabia, you know, the like so many people to thank, from King Salman to the Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman to Prince Abdulaziz, Prince Khalid, and the Vice President of the Saudi Federation, Rasha Al Khamis. She was really a huge stepping stone in the whole story. So that's how it started, man. It just started with social media.
That's what I love to hear. Sorry to interrupt. It's so
Yeah,
refreshing. A lot of people expect things to come to them. Things
exactly.
just come to me like, I'm this, I'm that. What's really refreshing about hearing from you is you went out on your own back. No one gave you anything. No one said, I'm giving you this opportunity. You physically pushed the boat. And now because of that, you've created good, positive relationships with people.
Exactly.
And
And
they
you
said when
just
they want to put they put your name forward first.
exactly, and you end up creating a relationship. I've pushed after God, of course, but I've pushed and I've did, and my family helped me too. But you end up building a relationship, a direct connection with you and the people who really want to get you there too. You show your true colors, your true personality. And again, if one thing that could be either the reason of the rise or the reason of the downfall of any athlete, especially in fighting, is pride. You have to put your pride away. On your way up, put your pride away. You want to send an email to a manager, send it. You want to send a DM, send it. You want to talk to the committee, to your country, to your federation, talk to them. What are you going to lose if they don't talk back? You have to put your pride aside. All that doesn't matter right now. What matters is that you represent. If you really want it from your heart to represent, there is no pride and putting that, no, they talk to me, they reach out to me, I'll make sure I win my fights until they come and talk to me. That's not how it works. It's not how it works, especially for me. There was no boxing back home. I had to introduce it. I had to introduce the idea of how to help, how to support, what steps to take. And I didn't introduce it, I learned from the mistakes I made, who to trust, who to talk to, all that stuff. So you have to put your pride away on your way up. That really needs to be put aside. If you're fighting, you go and spar. If there's someone better than you, admit it to yourself. Learn from them. If there's someone stronger, faster than you, admit it to yourself. It's no problem. One day you're going to be better if you outwork them. But the first solution to every problem is to knowing what the problem is. Admit it. No pride. No pride. You have to put it away.
Yeah, especially in the phase that we're all at the moment, especially yourself. You're at that phase where you're making your debut. You're going to have tough sparring sessions. You're going to have tough runs. You're going to have all this tough experience now, but it's best to do it now, as you said, right? And that consistency, there's two things that I've learned is consistency and discipline equals success.
Yep.
Consistency is doing it every day. Discipline is having the discipline to get up and do it every day, right?
I like how you didn't include motivation in there, because
Motivation.
if you're relying on that, you're in for a ride.
Yeah, man. I've done that, mate. I see a motivation video, go for a run the next day. Next day, oh man, I don't need to go for it.
Exactly. You're in for a very nice ride if you think the motivation is gonna be there every single day. Nah, that's not it.
So how have the Saudi people taken to you? Do you reach it? Do a lot of them know that you're a boxer? Have they got a big support for you? I noticed you got quite a big following on Instagram. Is that from your Saudi team? Where does that come from, man? How do the Saudi people approach you?
I'll tell you what I love about Saudi Arabia and the people back in Saudi, and what I love about the people back in Egypt and the Arab world too, is that no matter what you're doing, in any like in any sport, in any hobby, whatever it is, doesn't matter what you're doing, they're always supporting you. Even if they just, people back home just started finding out, more people back home just started finding out about me now after this fight announcement, after all the media that's come with it and everything. They don't care what my background is, wins, losses, never asked. All they know for sure is that they have my back.
He's one of us. One of our own.
All they know is, he's a fighter, he's one of us, and we support him and we're pushing for him. That's the beautiful thing about Saudi Arabia and the Arab world, is that I've seen tremendous support. but that's just a better drive. Some people could relax and become comfortable when they see that type of you know support, where win or lose they still have you. But no, when you get that support, this is where you think to yourself, you know what, I'm not, nothing is gonna let these people down.
Yeah, man.
Nothing is gonna let me stop fighting for not only me but for them too, and everyone who's gonna come after me. So it's really a beautiful thing to see
Yeah.
how one sport, one story of one athlete could unite so many people. I love it.
I think I did an interview with a guy recently who had the same mentality as you. He says, I can't lose, or I can't lose, and everyone, loss is part of the thing, but I
Yeah,
can't get knocked down. I can't get this because of the pride that I have in me, what I represent. And that's something I
exactly.
see in you as well, is that pride that you got for being Saudi, representing your people. It means a lot to you.
Yeah.
But looking on that, I mean, you're not a politician. I'm not asking you to get too much into it, but in the press, the Saudi country as a country gets a lot of bad press. And now it's obviously invested in the culture and the sports side of it to attract more tourists. Why does it get the bad press, do you think? And how are they changing now and moving forward?
So I'll tell you something. If not just Saudi, if any opinion you have in the world, if one person has one bad opinion and go says it to another person and another person, and the other person who hears that opinion can't really go see for himself, he's gonna have that same opinion, because they can't go see for themselves. That's why you should only believe what you see. And that's why Saudi right now is opening up the country and making it so much easier for everyone to go, and holding and hosting so many events for people to come and actually see what's
Mm,
happening,
mm,
how the country is, how people deal, how so people just have the wrong idea and the wrong opinion about Saudi and even the Arab world as a whole. Some people think, for example, some people think Saudi is only a desert. Dubai, we have such a good idea of Dubai because so many people are able to go.
mm.
But did you ever think of Kuwait? Did you ever think of Egypt, Qatar? People think it's a desert. That's because they haven't went yet. Now Saudi, before, in the past, it was very difficult for people to go to Saudi and actually see it. Now this is why they're opening up. I feel like, personally, me and the all of Saudi have had enough of people thinking that it's that closed-minded place, men and women separated,
Mm.
desert and stuff. None of that. And when I get these questions from my team here, from my coach, from my manager, any of that, are men gonna sit separate to women? Can we wear this? Can we wear that?
Mm.
I expect the questions, but all I say is you're gonna go and see.
Yeah, man. I
Now I
get
can say that.
questions about India. I'm from
Yeah,
Britain. I'm from UK.
yeah,
But people, when I take my friends are like, oh, can I dress a certain way? Can I do? No, just be yourself,
yeah,
man. It's all good.
yeah. So it's like people have the very wrong idea.
Yeah.
So once they go and see how kind and how open the country is and
Mm,
how much potential the country has for, living and investing and work, it's crazy. We saw Usyk and Joshua when they went for the press conference, right?
yeah.
Did you see the videos that came out about how the people were
Afterwards, about how they were
celebrating with
dancing
them?
with is it when they were
You,
dancing with people?
yeah. Did you see that? I mean, right now, I'm pretty sure Usyk is going into that fight. I felt AJ was a bit tight, but Usyk, I think, is going into that fight feeling that he's home. They made the fighters feel like they're home, both AJ and Usyk. They
Mm,
both danced with the crowd. They both had fun. They both, the crowd chanting their names and treating them like they were one of them. Now,
mm,
could you do that if it was the other way around? If it was an Arab fighter going abroad to any country without naming any country, I promise you it's not the same energy. Not the same energy. So it's so special for us to have these events back home, regardless of what people say, or regardless of the reasons that people are giving, that we're hosting it there, the money, or not, that you don't understand what it means for the people who
mm.
love boxing but can't watch it. We don't watch boxing back home. We don't have televised rights for the big boxing fights that you get to see in the US, in England, in Europe, all of Europe, we don't see them. We don't watch them. The only way to see it is to illegally stream it. And to illegally stream a fight, you already need to know so much about boxing to know that there is actually a fight happening. But you're not going to be switching TV channels and find boxing. So we appreciate it. We love it, So don't try to take it away from us. I mean, everyone deserves to
Everyone deserves.
see that
Obviously,
type of sport.
you just telling us about the passion of it, what it means to you. I think people can relate to that, man. Everyone's got that passion for boxing. They all want fights to come to their countries. Now, Saudi are investing in their country, investing in the sport. They want people to take up the sport. Why not? Why not?
Exactly.
If they're willing to open up the country for more people to come in, be more accessible.
Yeah.
Why not?
You know how easy and simple it is to get the visa to Saudi right now. It's 5 minutes online. 5 minutes. You just declare how long you're staying, why you're going. Thank you so much. That's it. So because they have that 2030 vision where they're empowering, by 2030, Saudi's open to all, to the public, to all investments, etc., etc.
Wow. Well, if you want to make any investments, people, Saudi Arabia is the place to go. So just a bit about you now, Zizo. We want to go back to how many people are expected in the arena?
40,000. It's a 40,000 seater.
Is it 40,000?
Yeah.
And it's going to be full?
I have no idea, but I'm
so.
hoping it will be.
Yeah,
I'm hoping it will be.
The amount of money you've paid for that rights for that fight, I'm hoping you get
exactly. I'm hoping that stadium will be full.
Yeah, man. So how long have you been in? Obviously, you're based over in America now. You've been based there. I believe. Were you 19? You were based there.
Yeah.
Are you 22 now?
19 years old.
22?
Yeah, I just turned 22 a few weeks ago.
Happy birthday for.
Thank you, brother.
So you've been there a couple of years, and then you've got a Hall of Famer coach, a world champion coach in your corner as well. How's that been for you? Have Buddy McGirt in your corner?
The good thing about a fighter like me, coming from the background that I come from, and the opportunities that I thought were impossible, I never get used to that stuff. When you're saying it right now, you have a Hall of Fame coach, Buddy McGirt. Every time you say it, I never get used to it. It's crazy for me because like I couldn't even dare dream about that when I closed my eyes when I was a kid. I couldn't dare that I'd go this far or be trained by a coach like that. So it really made me happy when you said that again, because it makes it real. So it's a crazy experience, especially with Coach Buddy McGirt. I think, in my opinion, the best thing for an athlete or a boxer to do at a professional level is to have a coach who's been there and done it all, who's a coach or like someone who's coming, from my background, where you always need more of that security. It's good to have a coach who's been through everything you want to go through. World title fights, he's been there as a fighter. He knows the feeling, he knows the pressure, he knows the emotions. So come fight night, when it's an arena full of 40,000 people and I'm panicking, whatever he says, I'm gonna do. Whatever advice he gives me, I instantly 100% believe and I'm confident in. That's the best thing about Buddy McGirt, is that he's a coach that's been there as a fighter. So as a fighter myself, that's what I was looking for. I was looking for a coach. Coach Buddy's always calm and composed, no matter what the situation is. He's just a professional, really, as a fighter and as a coach. Calm and composed in whatever situation you're in. Always has a solution for everything. Everything, any type of fighter, any style, because he's faced them all and he's beat them all. So the good thing that Buddy really focuses on is that once you go into a boxing day, a boxing session, when you're training, you're learning. You know what I mean? He's teaching on the heavy bag. That's your opponent. Your opponent is moving that way. You move this way. Your heavy bag is moving that way. You throw this specific punch. You throw one wrong punch. Why do you throw that punch? You make one wrong move. Why do you make that move? He's just that type of coach. He's very detailed and it's very different every single time. So it's so much knowledge. And like, thank God, really, it's so much knowledge that I'm surrounded by that it makes it so much harder for me to not be 150% every single training session. I want to prove myself to him every single training session. I don't care how comfortable I'm with Coach Buddy right now. In my head, this is a guy who he's Hall of Famer, so, and you're talking about 70 something fights, and 6 losses only. It's crazy. So this is, and if you watch Buddy, in unreal jab, so slick, everything. So it's what
He
every
comes
fighter
across like a
aspires to
crazy
be.
guy. He comes across like I see
Huh?
some of his interviews. He seems crazy. He seems
Yeah.
like he seems like he
Yeah.
seems like someone who will help you in his, help you settle in, learn from,
Yeah.
and develop as a
Exactly.
boxer. Which
Exactly.
is
And
really
Coach
cool.
Buddy's very smart in and out of the ring.
Yeah.
The advice he has for you in the ring is he always even has better advice for you out the ring. So you really just have a father figure in your corner more than a coach.
That's what you need in boxing. You need someone who really looks after you because it is really a dog eat dog
Exactly.
industry, isn't it? As I'm sure
Exactly.
you've seen already early on. So yeah, having people like that in your corner, and you can see Buddy McGirt, he's coach Derek Trezora,
Yeah. Derek
more recent
Sora.
Callum Smith.
Yeah. He has Cam Smith.
Was Callum
He
Smith
has
on the card
Carlos.
as well, right?
Yeah. Callum Smith is on the card. Yeah.
Great fight.
Yeah, and he has Carlos Balderas too. Carlos is an Olympian. He has Kovalev. So Coach Buddy has top level people in
Hey,
his stable.
how does it
And
feel for you when you're in the gym, you're training, you're hitting the bag, and you see someone like Callum Smith walking, or Kovalev walking, or these Olympians walking? You're like, what is going on here today? How does it feel?
it's mind blowing because I'll tell you something. These are the people when I was back home, when I lived back home in the Arab world. These are the people that I used to illegally stream their fights, and now, now I'm training side by side with them. Actually, when I know they're coming into that gym one day, that same day, when I hear that Callum Smith is coming from England or Kovalev is coming to start his camp, I don't leave. I stay. I stay in the gym. So I'm done with my boxing, but I'm not done with my training. My training is not only me moving and punching the bag or listening to Coach Buddy, but also observing Coach Buddy and what he does with Callum, what he does with Kovalev, what he does with all the other top level fighters that have reached what I want to reach. I observe and I watch and I look, how does Callum move? He's such a perfectionist. I've talked to him. I'm not shy to ask for advice or because I'm gonna need it. I have to make the most of that blessed opportunity that I'm in. Kovalev, same thing. So I stay in the gym for 5, 6 hours, even just watching and watching and watching and observing. I just want to study them physically, mentally, and skillfully because, yeah, God willing, one day I'm gonna be there.
Keep training hard, man. I'm sure it will be. And then, obviously, you're based. Whereabouts are you at the moment? Where in the world are you now?
Right now, I'm in Liverpool, England, for
You're in
camp.
England right now. You're Liverpool. Oh my
Yeah,
God. How you finding the accent down there?
I mean, I can't understand anything. Northern smile, just all the way, boys.
Give us an example of the accent that you hear over there. Give us an example. Come
So
on.
what's the craziest thing? I love Liverpool. I think it's the best of both worlds. It's both like a city and it's calm. It keeps you zoned in. But when they say anything that has to do with a K, it turns into a kh. So I don't know how. I don't know how. Like, really, like, it's just very, very weird and it's very fast too. And if a word has 5 letters, only 2 letters are coming out. So, but I love Liverpool
Hi
and
mate. Hi mate.
I
How
love the
you
people
doing?
in the city too. Yeah, see you later.
See you
Exactly.
later, mate.
See you later is their favorite. But one thing about Liverpool is everyone is a fighter. I don't know how. I don't know why. Man, woman, you know, like
The women
old,
can
young,
be
they're a fighter. They're either boxers, Muay Thai fighters, UFC fighters.
kept.
Everyone is a fighter. And it just keeps you in that zone. It keeps you in that zone. Even the sparring here hits very different.
Yeah.
Very different. You know, it's a war every single time, every single round, every single minute of that round. Someone's out there to hurt you.
Mm,
Someone's out there to get a piece of you, you know, and to show you why you shouldn't even be in there with them, you
mm.
know? So that's what I love.
You
This
always
is
gotta be
what I
pushing
need.
on. That's how it improves you, right?
This is what I need. This camp for a fight of this magnitude, it's all filled with things that that I'm uncomfortable in, which is forcing me to be comfortable in uncomfortable situations. You
Mm,
know, different country, different city, the
mm,
jet lag, training and sparring with the jet lag for about a week and a half, you
mm.
know, the strength and conditioning, the I don't have here, I'm cooking everything, I don't have my meal prep. So everything is very, very uncomfortable. You're very isolated, no friends here, no familiar places. So it's very, it really keeps me zoned in. You know, that's the nice thing. So I feel like I'm preparing for hell in hell. You know, I'm preparing for war, but I'm already in a war. So it's not gonna be anything new come fight night.
Just keep smiling through it, brother. What sort of boxers have you been sparring over there? Who you been sparring over in Liverpool?
So right now I've been sparring a kid. His name is Frankie Stinger, and this kid, I think he's 2-0, I believe, and he's actually fighting in 5 weeks. He's also in that same stable around Callum and Liam, and you know, he's around the Smith brothers a lot. So and he's a tri-national champion and a national champion and just medals all around. He's a very good kid, you know, in and outside of the ring, and he turns it into a full-on war. Both of us turn it into a full-on bloody war when we're sparring, you know. 4 rounds feel like eight rounds feel like 16, you know. So it's like this is what I love. He really pushes me to my limits, I push him to his limits, and this is what you know, you have to surround yourself around world-class fighters like that is for. So you really are out there to, you know, prove it to each other and to make each other better. So that's who I've been sparring here. It's good work. And
It
I've
sounds it.
been just, yeah, watching and observing Callum sparring too. I've been watching Liam Smith too, Liam Beefy Smith. That's been crazy, you know. It's just, you know, Paul Smith too, great guy. All of the Smith brothers, all in
Lovely
all,
guys.
are
Yeah,
yeah,
they
the
used
whole
to
family
train.
is really good.
Yeah, they used to train at in Bolton at Amir Khan's. Do you know Amir Khan?
Yeah, of
Yeah,
course, yeah,
at Amir Khan's gym, and I went down there once, and the four brothers were there. Uh,
yeah.
very nice guys. Yeah, seem like very nice.
They're very, very nice, very welcoming people, you know. Callum's been very, very good to us, and Paul too, you know, all of them, they've just anything we want, they give us, they always make sure we have what we need and are comfortable, you know. But then once you step into that ring for sparring, nobody knows anyone.
Just you, kid. It's just you
Yeah,
going there.
yeah. Once you step into that ring for sparring or for anything, nobody knows you. Nobody cares about you. That's
Mm,
exactly the situation and the mentality you need to be in when you're preparing for any fight, not just a fight of this magnitude.
amazing, man. Amazing. Well, I just want to leave it on some final words. All the people watching, all the Saudi people watching, everyone around the world watching. Is there any final words that you'd like to say to them?
Well, I want to remind everyone that, and to all athletes especially, and we talked about that before we started this interview,
Yeah.
but who you are as a human will determine who you are as an athlete.
Mm,
Always remember that. There's a way to do everything. There's a
mm,
specific way to deliver your message. You know, put some sense of humor, you know, be yourself. Don't put a face on, you know, you are human first before you're an athlete. To
mm.
fighters, especially, you are a human first before you are a fighter, before you are a boxer, a mixed martial artist, whatever it is, just focus on how you want to be remembered. And to me personally, I just want anyone who has a dream, who thinks he has no hope, no way, there's no way they're gonna get that opportunity. Just watch what God makes me do. Just watch what we will do with this amazing team and what I will do in my career, because that's what I want to represent. I want to represent that hope, opportunity. And for the people in Saudi Arabia and the Arab world as a whole, all of them, every single country, I just want to say it's an honor and it's a privilege to carry you all on my back, to have all that weight on my back. It could, some people, the pressure could break them, but I'm making the most out of it. I love every minute of it. You know, it keeps my back against the wall. And when your back's against the wall, I always say it, the only way is forward. Look behind you, there's a wall, you know, right
Yeah,
now, you just drive forward. So yeah, the pressure's on, but the pressure makes it better. And you know, tough times create smooth rides. So we're in it. We're in it to win it, everything. You know, we're coming for all of it. So with their support, I feel like I could do anything. I feel like I'm a superhero right now, you know. If I, all I need to do is put my hands up and I would fly. So, but I saved that for fight night.
Zico, I honestly gotta say that's such a beautiful message. I've taken so much from it. From such a young man, you got, you know, great head on your shoulders, and just take that forward with you, man. Don't let the hype get to your head.
No,
Stay grounded,
sorry about that.
developing your game, man, and I'm sure you'll go to the top.
Thank you.
Don't
No,
forget, you got
thank you for
Rachel
this
in your corner.
opportunity.
No, my pleasure. You got Rachel, you got Buddy, you got a great team behind
Yeah,
you. Keep them, and I'm sure they'll take you to the top, man.
for sure, 100%. God willing, you know, God willing, we're gonna make it up there.
And remember this. All right, brother. All the best, man. Thank you,
All
everyone,
right,
for
thank you,
listening.
Terry. Thank you for the opportunity to get my message out there, you know, and thank you for giving me and so many fighters just the chance to talk and put our message out there. This is really what matters most, and not all of us get that chance and opportunity. So I really appreciate it, brother. Keep
What we'll
doing
do
what
in
you're
the future,
doing.
we'll do a face-to-face one, man.
Yeah,
I
100%.
prefer face-to-face. Like, you'll get a good interaction from people.
100%.
It's better, and I think we'll get
Yeah,
better,
yeah, definitely.
better from that. So yeah,
All
thank you very much. Thank you guys,
right.
everyone, for listening.
Perfect.
Cheers.